minute talk FCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys. And whilst I took a quick break yesterday, thank you for all of you who were telling me to go and have a day's rest. I did that, but obviously the news does not stop. I'm back today with some transfer information and some general Barcelona news as well. So stay tuned for all the latest Matthijs de Ligt, Luka Jovic. It's all coming up. Transfer talk. Let's go! But I want to start here with what is a very, very interesting report from Sport, and it came out yesterday regarding a possible partnership between the club of Ajax and Barcelona. And I personally think this is an absolutely phenomenal idea. Basically says here that Barcelona and Ajax are exploring the idea of a collaboration between the two clubs, which would see Ajax and Barcelona very closely linked when it comes to the passing of players. Between the two clubs, they will be very, very closely linked. And that's simply because the two clubs believe they've got a very similar idea on the pitch, off the pitch. The whole model of Ajax, of course, very, very similar to that of Barcelona. There's a very, very strong bond between the two clubs in terms of the hierarchy and also the fans as well, following that huge influence on both sides from Johan Cruyff. And I'm sure that if there was a partnership that was going to happen between the two, I think Johan Cruyff would be so proud of that because he worked so hard. He really changed the course of history in both sides, and I think coming together as a partnership there would be such a big thing for both clubs. And Sport here say that Barcelona, of course, would have the advantage of then having priority over other clubs when it comes to upcoming talents from Ajax, players who are going to leave Ajax. Barcelona would have first refusal, the first opportunity to go and get them there from Ajax. And Ajax, of course, would have the advantage of receiving Barcelona players, mostly young talents, going there to develop their football and, of course, learn at Ajax, learn their style, which is very similar to Barcelona. And that would also help Ajax domestically, of course, competing for the Eredivisie title. The players that are going in there can certainly help them in that. And like I say, I really do believe it's a fantastic idea simply because the two clubs are so similar in their styles. When you loan players away from Barcelona, what you want them to do is go to a club there who are very similar, who they can go there and basically learn that kind of style. And then when they return to Barcelona, it's very similar. You don't want to go somewhere, develop your talent, develop your characteristics, and then go back to Barcelona and everything is completely different. If you went alone to Ajax, you would go back to Barcelona and there wouldn't be a dramatic shift in the way that you play. And I think certainly looking at younger players now, you look at Jean-Claire Todibo. Now, a lot of people think that I forgot Todibo when I did the video the other day on the news round about our centre-backs, but I didn't forget him. What I believe will happen next season, though, is he will go out on loan. That is almost a guarantee. He's only 19 years old. He still needs game time. He still needs experience to really progress. I think next season he's out on loan, and I think, look, sending him somewhere like Ajax, what would that do there for a young lad like Todibo coming through, that experience that he can gather there? It's the perfect place there to develop and really get ready for the audition of Barcelona. Coming back then after a year or so, maybe even 2 years there at Ajax, developing your talent, coming back, that could be so important and vital really for our younger players coming through. And of course on the other side, those big players coming from Ajax having that first refusal. I think we've already seen that. We saw it with Frankie de Jong. We were first in the queue. Negotiations with Ajax are absolutely perfect, and I think again we are going to see it with Matthijs de Ligt. And I really do mean that because right now it is getting serious with regard to de Ligt coming to Barcelona. And before, of course, we were debating whether Barcelona wanted him, whether we'll go for him, whether we can afford him, can we do all this? There was a lot of debate. But right now, it's a simple question of when are we going to get the deal done? Right now, things are looking so positive. And it's as simple as this right now. Barcelona want Matthijs de Ligt. Barcelona believe they can pay for Matthijs de Ligt. Ajax are fully aware of the interest and the player himself. The most important thing always in any transfer, the player wants to join Barcelona. That has been clear from the very moment go. He's very eager to link up, of course, his very close friend, Frankie de Jong. He's already at Barcelona in the summer. De Ligt is going to follow him, and all that's left now is to agree that transfer fee. And like I say, when you're looking at the de Jong deal, the negotiations with Ajax, they were very simple. They were very straightforward. Ajax said, look, we want this money. We believe the player is worth that. And Barcelona come in and they basically say, look, it is a fantastic player you've got here. He's a young talent. You have pretty much got the right to ask for that kind of money, and we'll pay it. Right now, everything seems incredibly smooth. It's all going to plan. Apparently, the fee, the only thing that's yet to be agreed, that is going to be simple. Barcelona have the money to do it. They believe that Ajax's price is a fair one, and for that reason, de Ligt to Barcelona now is catching fire. It's really moving quickly, and potentially, we could have another Dutchman on our hands next season. And of course, guys, 2 days ago, we did discuss strikers coming to Barcelona, and Sport this morning coming out with the big headline that basically says red hot 9, talking of course about possible centre forwards that could come in to Barcelona, and they mention here Valencia's Rodrigo as a possible alternative to Luka Jovic, and Valverde apparently favours the signing of Rodrigo, but the problem is with Rodrigo, he's a good player of course, established in La Liga, he's a goal scorer, he's got a lot more goals this season, and he is certainly on very good form, but he's 28 years old, entering now into his prime years, and also he's got a 120 million euro clause, which when Real Madrid tried to sign him last summer, Valencia said we want every single euro of that release clause. So right now Rodrigo is certainly the less likely option, but he does remain an option. But that does bring us on to Luka Jovic, who according to reports, widespread reports now, Barcelona have accelerated the process of trying to sign this young man. And I think the simple reason for that is, game by game, every time you watch him, every time scouts go out to see him, his stock is rising and rising and rising. And it did exactly that once again on Tuesday, Serbia against Germany. Jovic scored the only goal there for Serbia in a 1-1 draw, and it was again getting him in the headlines in a very, very positive way. And several sources now are saying that Barcelona will go to Eintracht Frankfurt, they will make a concrete offer. They've spoken already to Jovic's entourage, and they want to wrap up the signing as quickly as they possibly can, and they will offer 60 million euros. What we're going to have to do now is wait and see whether we make that offer. If we do make that offer, will other clubs then come in and getting a bidding war? Barcelona really don't want to get into that, and for that reason, they're doing everything they can, just like with Ligt, to get this one signed, sealed, and delivered. But of course, any club, doesn't matter who you are, well it does matter who you are, PSG and Man City with the exceptions, but you can't just spend and spend and spend. There has to be, of course, some money coming in from somewhere. Now, of course, Barcelona right now are certainly at the top of the tree when it comes to sponsorship. That is where the bulk of our money will be coming from this summer, but also we are going to need to sell some players to sign big players like De Ligt and also Luka Jovic. Now, Andre Gomez is one of those players who is definitely going to be sold this coming summer, and according to Sport, Barcelona are on the verge of selling him, and possibly the destination will be Everton. Of course, he has been on loan so far this season with Everton. He started the season really brightly. He hasn't really been in fantastic form in recent months, but Everton still are very, very keen on making that move permanent. Barcelona want between 25 to 30 million euros for the midfielder, and they are looking to sell him there to the Premier League to get that kind of money. They do say as well, along with Everton, there is one unnamed club also interested, which should help Barcelona in their negotiations. But Everton right now in pole position, 25 to 30 million euros, and that will help us enormously there in getting some money in to really help facilitate those kind of big signings. And of course, guys, I'm massively hyped for the signing of De Ligt, possibly even Jovic as well. I'm very, very excited about those kind of players coming in to play for Barcelona, but I've seen a lot of your comments, and I can't help but agree as well. You talk about the left-back position, you talk a lot about, you know, where is that signing, that backup for Jordi Alba, who are we going to really target for that? And that's a good question, because obviously these signings here, big signings, big money, very, very important. They'll improve us massively, no doubt about that, but at the same time, we have to surely be also looking at that backup left-back spot. Obviously, we have Jordi Alba, and that's fantastic, but this season, we have suffered because we've had a real lack of a backup. We have to look at that in the summer, no doubt about it. We certainly can't afford to let that go under the radar for yet another season, because it will punish us. We need to bring somebody in. That certainly needs to be a priority, and surely now, we have to be analysing those targets and seeing who's best to bring in to that kind of role. But just finally, guys, I want to discuss here an upcoming friendly match on Monday the 25th. Catalonia will play Venezuela in a friendly game, which should be very, very exciting indeed. Of course, they do one of these friendly games per year, and I just want to show you the squad list for that game, because there are certainly some names that you may well recognise. Starting off there, of course, with Gerard Piqué. He is going to be walking out with Catalonia on his shirt. He's going to absolutely love that moment, of course. He always wants to play in these games, participate. That, of course, is very important to him. But, of course, there's a lot of ex-Barcelona representatives here as well, the likes of Muniesa, Bartra, Montoya as well, Alex Vidal, of course, even Sanchez there, Romeo in midfield, and also the likes of Cucurella, of course, who's out on loan right now from Barcelona, currently playing his football at Eibar. But of course, one other name there that you cannot fail to recognise coming in from Qatar, it is Xavi Hernandez, who will be playing once again with Gerard Piqué for the Catalonia national team. That friendly taking place on Monday in what should be there. Very exciting, really looking forward to seeing those two guys back on the same field again, and should be really a great occasion for Catalonia and everything they stand for. But that there, guys, is just a summary of what we missed yesterday, and also catching up with today with regard to the transfer news. Good signs right now with Matthijs de Ligt and also with Luka Jovic. A lot going on right now on the front of Barcelona. Anything further and anything else to bring you, I will let you know as soon as it happens. Thank you as always, guys, for your incredible support. Please leave your thoughts in the comments down below, and I will see you soon with more videos. But until then, as always, Vesca El Barça.
Oh!